Welcome to the Veterans Cafe Podcast, Episode 3.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Tracy.
And I'm Wes.
I'm actually getting ready to leave my husband, to go on a mission. Not to leave my husband, but...
Get a little insight into our personal lives there. The accounts were cleaned out last night, so...
Yeah, he hasn't noticed yet.
I'm going to go ahead and put up a PayPal donation button on our website for anybody who...
What's the other one? The other thing going around, Fund Me? But no.
Oh, yeah, Fund Me. I'll make a Fund Me site so that you guys can... hopefully help me out here.
What I meant was, I'm going on a combat camera mission, so I'm going to be gone for 12 days. Anyway, since I'm going out of town for 12 days, that means at the very last second I'm going to throw all my gear together. But it just made me think that perhaps we should talk about, from our experiences, because, I've been on a few missions, out of the United States, in the United States. Certainly you've been out of the country quite a bit. I just thought it would be interesting to just give a couple insights to soldiers that are getting ready to go somewhere, or their spouses, of what to expect, what they really need, what they don't need. Because, of course, you're going to get on the mission, you're going to get your orders, you're going to get the packing list, and you're going to have to carry that everywhere.
And I can tell you right now that no matter how bad you think it is while you're packing and getting ready to go somewhere, there's no way that you got as stressed out as my wife does. Because she hates packing.
Not anymore, though, right? Like the first few years, I was like in a panic, and I would get the packing list and I'd highlight it and I'd check it off, and I ended up carrying, 15 more pounds than I needed to everywhere I went. As the years have gone by, I've realized, I don't need 14 different cold weather tops. But, socks, though, on the other hand, I always need more socks. But.
Speaking of that, definitely email us. Email us at themax@vetscafe.com, and you just let us know what are the most worthless things you've ever seen on a packing list. And I'm sure you have a long list of them, because I know I do, and I know my wife does because I told her she does. So definitely let us know what you think about that, too, because we want to know.
From my side, too, aside from the clothing, and, I'm from Texas, and I'm cold everywhere I go. Aside from all the clothing that I don't need to pack, I always end up packing way too many phone chargers and too many rechargeable batteries. And, I have, all these external hard drives, and part of that's, combat camera. But the thing I think that's the most important is just to realize where you're going, how long you're going to be there, how many uniforms do you really need, right? Come on, how many, I don't know. I don't know if it's just a female thing or not, but I always have, 4 pairs of shoes, and I don't know.
It is a female thing, because every time I go somewhere, I pack, an assault pack, and I'm done. A tiny little backpack.
And I have that amazing Foot Locker on wheels.
Yeah, not even kidding. Not even kidding. It is literally like a locker room locker.
It's so awesome.
On wheels.
I got it from, the engineer unit, the same unit you're in, no? Or did I get it from the one before?
Well, I never got one of those, and if they had issued it to me, I would have needed it because I just take an assault pack, what? So, enlighten us. Enlighten us.
Anyway, I was just saying, I would say one of the best tips that I think I have discovered is ziplock bags. Because they just come in handy when you're packing.
Yeah, I almost think that one's I've always kind of felt like that's a given.
No, I agree, but they're not on the packing list.
Well, yeah, typically on the packing list is mostly, Army-related equipment.
No, I agree, but Ziploc bags come in handy. Trash bags come in handy. I don't know. They just come in more in handy to me than... I don't know. Those ridiculous... Oh, my God. Speaking of rain gear, the pants are unnecessary. You're going to be too hot. Please don't ever wear those pants. You're going to be too hot, and... It's just not worth it.
They actually used to not allow us to wear them. Well, at least basic training.
You don't need the pants.
They wouldn't allow us to wear them. So
I don't know. The pants show up at least on my packing list. Because, we're in different units now, so I should say that. We have different MOSs, but oh my God, you don't need the pants.
I think some of that stuff just shows up on your packing list just so that they can be do you have everything? Yes. Well, let me see it. Lay it out. So it's basically just a layout so they can make sure you haven't lost all your stuff.
I don't know, but I don't know. The unit that I'm in, we just recently did the full inventory, checklist, as you know, because you ended up doing 97% of it for me. But that is important to look at occasionally, right? To find out what you're missing. Because there are some items that when you leave the military is going to want back. And if you don't have those items, they are going to take it out of your pay, and they will take it out of your pay instantly. Right?
Yeah, but not Ziploc bags.
No. But anyway, in my opinion, the more Ziploc bags, the better. They're going to be, I don't know, it's just going to be helpful with your food, helpful with your clothing. Especially if you don't have like a more than one waterproof bag, that liner that goes like around your duffel. And oh my God, heaven forbid it actually rains or it lands in a puddle or something. All of your clothes are going to be wet. And if it's cold, it's going to be terrible. And then if it's hot, it's going to be humid. And I don't know. I like Ziploc bags for like my socks and my sports bras and things like that. As an addition to food, obviously.
So speaking of hot, cold, humid, and all that, I don't know if we've ever mentioned this on the podcast, but we actually live in sunny Tampa, Florida.
Amazing.
Right. We just recently moved here from San Antonio, so we live in Tampa, Florida, in the Tampa area of Florida now. And I'm not gonna lie, the winter here has been effing awesome. I mean, it's been in like the 70s, right?
Today was 77.
Right. And I think I could probably count on both hands how many times it's gotten down below like 60.
And if it's gotten below 60, it's for a short time of the day.
Yeah. So my wife is getting ready to pack up and head out to Georgia.
Oh my God, it's going to be unbelievably cold. Inhumane cold.
So I feel, as a husband, as a fellow soldier, just as a brother in arms, that it's my duty to probably pack up the dogs, take them to the beach, and take a bunch of awesome pictures to send to my wife while she's away freezing her butt off in Georgia.
Of course.
Because that's, of course, what a good soldier would do to another good soldier, right?
Of course, yes, because, I'm going to be outside. I would assume, with the luck I have, I'm going to be outside the entire time. But that's okay. It'll be worth it. It'll be fun. It's always fun.
It's pretty cool, right? This whole thing you're going to is like an air training mission, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
it'll be fun.
So I think it should actually be
fun.
And
if I get any photos released, because, they're not always released, but if I get them released, I'll definitely share them. It's just one of those things with combat camera. I can't always share the images or the video for what happened, different reasons, various reasons. So if I do get them released, I will definitely share them. Okay, so you have deployed more times than I have because, I haven't. So it's funny because I keep putting myself on all these lists and for various reasons, I don't end up going. So it's a little heartbreaking to me. But I've gone on humanitarian things, so that's why out of the country. So that's why I feel like I can help somewhat in this conversation. But, when it comes to packing lists for a soldier who is about to go out of the country for 9 months or more, what do you think that they honestly, truly need?
Well, of course there are a lot of basic things that you should take that are on the packing list, some of the cold weather stuff and the wet weather stuff. I definitely am not one of those people who complies with the entire packing list. And as a matter of fact, if we have...
You're a rebel.
Exactly. If we have, I don't know if rebel is the right word. I think it's just a common sense person.
Maverick?
You know what?
Top Gun?
Let's stop with the Top Gun jokes right now. All right? This is not the 80s. You need to move forward. You need to move forward.
I know, but that movie was so awesome.
Yeah, well. Anyways... So, of course, there are a lot of useful things on the packing list that you should actually take, like some of the cold weather stuff, the wet weather stuff, and all that. But I'm definitely one of those people who doesn't take everything. And I would imagine that most soldiers out there don't.
I would hope.
Really.
I would hope that they don't.
I think
because it's unnecessary. Because you're going to carry it everywhere you go, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to be on your back. And I don't know. I
think maybe my first deployment, I probably packed to standard or whatever, just because I didn't know what to...
This reminds me of that story where you had all the mop gear.
Yeah, we did wear...
I think it was your first deployment. You were walking for like miles or something.
Well, we wore mop gear.
Yeah.
During the Iraq invasion. Of course, we didn't know what to expect or anything like that, so we were all in, I guess, mop 3, right?
Well, no, you had everything on, didn't you?
We weren't wearing a mask.
Oh, you didn't have a mask?
Well, we had it. We were wearing it on our leg. We didn't have to wear a mask until something actually happens. We were just wearing like the charcoal.
So then you were all hot for no reason in your dramatic story then. If you didn't have the mask on, you're not really wearing mop gear.
What? Are you? Oh my gosh! Come on. It was hot as hell wearing that stuff. I mean, we wore the whole suit except for the gloves and the mask. I mean, we had the mask like tied onto our leg, but we had like our uniforms on, and then that whole charcoal mop, the oversuit.
Yeah, I know. For like the GAFB training, we just put it on. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, did you walk like however many miles through the desert?
No, because
then you don't know.
But yeah, I had the mask on. I had the mask on.
So what? It's not like I haven't
worn
the mask.
And I had the gloves on.
And I had go on runs in the mask.
And I had the little Mickey Mouse boots.
Are you trying to compete with me right now? What is this?
Anyway.
Yeah, anyways. I don't even know what the hell I was talking about a while ago now.
My microphone just fell down. Okay, so packing list. What is essential? In your opinion, since you've deployed 4 times.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that you just have to gauge it based on where you're going and what you're doing. Obviously, the essential stuff is anything that can keep you warm and dry. I mean, that's really what it boils down to, in my opinion. Warm and dry. If it can keep you warm, it can keep you dry, you need it.
Yeah, in my opinion, as a female, the cleaner you can be, the better. I mean, we're just slightly different. So the cleaner clothes you can have, the better. But, it doesn't necessarily always mean just, your ACU top or bottoms. I mean, I was talking about ziplock bags and trash bags and just, I don't know, just the more sports bras and underwear you can have as a female, the better in the long run. Socks are important too, but I don't know. And then there's things like I will always remember when we did our first field training exercise and basic training. I mean, of course, that's nothing that compares to like anyone who's actually deployed. But that was the first time in my life that I had not showered for, 7 days? That was the first time in my life. And I have to tell you, I don't know. I put on an obscene amount of talcum powder everywhere I went. And like my perfume was Febreze and I don't know. Things like that help, but at a certain point they don't help. I mean, they're good because, you're going to repel bugs and things like that. But if you're just walking around with white powder all over your body, it's just a little silly.
Well, and that's the perfect private example. I mean, as a private, I was an idiot. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. I mean, and I was an RTO. My first 6 months as a private in an infantry unit in the 101st, I ended up becoming the RTO, which I hated. I didn't hate it afterwards, but I hated the fact that I was chosen to do it. The lieutenant I actually ended up serving with was awesome. He taught me a ton, and everything. But I was always just like screwing stuff up all the time. I'll never forget my very first field problem. He told me to go out and like build our hooch, right? The little poncho, knee-high hooch that we would build out in the field. And I actually built it amazingly. First, I raked out all of the like pine needles, right? And he was like, "That's
all of the warmth.
That's like our bedding. What are you what are you doing?"
Wasn't it at the bottom of a hill?
So anyways, I put all the pine needles back, right, and I laid down our little sleeping bags and a little mat and all that. Well, that night it started pouring rain, and I guess just the way the terrain was, there was basically a little drainage ditch that ran right in between him and I. And I mean, of course, it was only like, I don't know, an inch or two deep, so you couldn't really see it that easily. But once it started pouring rain, like this stream of water started coming down right in between us, and of course, soaking us all to hell and back. And that wasn't even the worst that I did as a private in the field. I actually slept in a hole one night with no hooch over me, and it started raining, and woke up literally in a puddle. So I did a bunch of stupid stuff when I was, first starting out and didn't know what to do and all that. But what it really boiled down to, like I said earlier, for me, learning was just dry and warm. Anything that can keep you dry, anything that can keep you warm, that's the most important thing you could possibly take with you anywhere.
No, I agree. And then just, clean, as clean as you can be. And, from my point of view, just combat camera, surge protectors, rechargeable batteries, all those kinds of things that will help us, make a big difference. That's why another reason all the Ziploc bags and everything come in handy. But I think that just means that just take a look at the packing list and then just take a look at where you're actually going. and what you're actually doing and how long you're actually going to be there. And I don't know, obviously feel free to ask us if you have any questions specifically about packing list and, different parts of the world that you're going to. But I don't know. I kind of just think that when it comes to packing lists, you definitely want to find a mentor, someone in your unit. In theory, it should be someone in your team, your squad, your platoon. But definitely find someone in your unit to help you out if you're not sure. There's just nothing worse to me than just carrying more gear that you just do not need. And then heaven forbid you lose it. You just don't want to do that.
Yeah, and keep in mind, the best person to ask may not be the person in your team or squad.
That's the army, but that's also life too.
Find the person that actually seems like they know a lot, and
hopefully they do.
Hopefully they do. I learned the hard way. You can too.
I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun to talk about the packing list a little bit, just because I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to leave my husband.
Yes, she is. Bank account's clean.
But I don't know. I just think just literally just take a look at where you're going. Ziploc bags, surge protectors. In my opinion, trash bags. They're just huge. I don't know. And then, of course, if you're on the other end and your spouse is going somewhere, I can definitely help out with all care packages and things like that.
Yeah, so while I was overseas, my wife did an awesome job with the care packages. She started, she cut out construction paper, and it literally looked like a kid did it. I think she did it that way.
Everything.
She did it that way intentionally.
And I was in school. I was in an army school. It's not like I had a lot of time.
No, she did an awesome job, though, and all my care packages were all, custom made and all this kind of stuff, so it was really neat. So she put together some good packages for me, so she's definitely an authority on the matter.
Well, I'm the wife. I'm the female. Yeah, I'm authority on most matters.
Dear God.
It looks like my husband needs another beer, so...
So, thank you for tuning in to episode number 3. If you haven't seen the post on our Facebook fan page, you can actually find us now on iTunes and Stitcher. So, if you are one of the people that actually subscribes to us through iTunes, or if you found us through iTunes, please do subscribe so you can get future episodes automatically as we post them. They'll be downloaded automatically to your iPhone. Also, if you do have a quick moment, which I'm sure you do since you're listening to this, go ahead and, if you wouldn't mind, we would love to get a review from you on iTunes. Not only are reviews great for feedback, input, and everything for us, but they also actually help us to move up in the rankings and allow other people to find us in iTunes and bring on more followers, more respondents, and more people who actually can just listen to the show and join in the conversation. So we would definitely appreciate you doing that for us.
And that's important to us because we want to give back, and all the reviews and the subscriptions are just going to help us give back to more people. So we definitely appreciate it.
So again, thank you for tuning in to episode 3 of the Veterans Cafe podcast. I'm Wes.
I'm Tracy.
And we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.